Are you the one who starts the best conversations on Facebook, WhatsApp, or in the group chat? If so, this is the podcast for you. Hi, I'm Eva.
And I'm Don, and welcome to Chat and Bother. This is a 15-minute podcast where we start conversations and you and your circle finish them. So go ahead and share this episode with a friend or family member so they can listen to it and you can talk about it together.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I sound a little different today because this is pre-tea for me. It was supposed to be pre-coffee for your friend, but he cheated.
I didn't cheat. I just have cold brew on the ready in the refrigerator so I can just pour it when I need it.
Yeah, well, I don't have that for my tea, but I began to bother him early this morning and it was hilarious. So I said, you know what? We should record this. And he's like, yeah, cool, but I'm not getting out of the bed. And I was like, all right, fine. But if you all have...
I didn't think she was going to actually get the mic.
Well, okay. So you all have heard the episode on perfectionism. I was not about to turn on nobody's voice notes and just do it. Like, that sounds ridiculous to me. So yes, I am currently laying in the bed with my computer on my knees. And
there's a microphone.
There's a microphone that we're trying to keep from falling over because, again, we are currently laying down. I thought that it was a really interesting conversation and I wanted to share it because it was funny and it was interesting. How did we get on the topic of Watership Down?
I think I remembered the name of a character from a book that I couldn't remember like 2 weeks ago, and it just came to me. I remembered the classic book that we had to read in high school. We started going down the list of other books that we had to read in high school. And this is one that you brought up, Watership Down.
Yes, because that was a book that I actually read because there are many books that I was assigned and many of them. See, my mom did not believe it. She believed in hard work, but for certain things. So our library, while it had a lot of books in it, it also had a lot of Cliff's Notes.
How did you get Cliff Notes?
Because whenever we went and got a book from the bookstore, if it was a school assignment, my mom got the Cliff's Notes to go with it.
I always dreamed of getting Cliff Notes. We never got any of those.
And the teachers told us not to use them, and I did not care. We had them for every classic book that we were assigned, every single one.
I remember that episode, what was it, The Cosby Show?
Yep.
Where they talked about the Cliff Notes?
Yep, that episode. And I was sitting there, we were all sitting there like, I don't see the problem.
Yeah.
And I was like, he didn't do it right because I do just fine with the Cliff's Notes. So I don't know what they call them, they call them
crib
some other notes. I don't know, but I was like, he bought the wrong edition because I do fine.
Right.
But anyway, I think we started talking about Watership Down because that was one of the few books that I read and enjoyed.
Right.
Because I went to a school where we definitely did not read any books by people of other ethnicities. Take that how you want to take it. So all of them were kind of the same to me. Like it was some British author or some, something about a whale or a dog or a something.
Or some private school kid. I was in a private school. I didn't want to read about other private school kids or boarding school kids. Like, why does this matter to me? Okay, you call it a classic. It wasn't classic to me, but I did enough to get by with my grades and move on so I could still keep playing sports.
I was so jealous, like getting older and seeing people who had read stuff by Toni Morrison and Richard Wright and like my kids, they're being assigned this stuff in public school. And I'm like, what? This is like, we never had those opportunities. And the kids now are so much more, they're more well-rounded than we were. Because I just said, I ain't about to read that. So mainly like Edgar Allan Poe. Gosh, I read all the dark stuff. I read Edgar Allan Poe. I did read Lord of the Flies.
Poe was a little creepy, wasn't he?
He was a creep.
Okay.
He was a creep. He was a weird man.
He had an obsession with ravens.
I don't know if it was an obsession necessarily. He did have a thing for birds.
Yeah.
There was a thing for birds and death. It was a lot of death. Yeah, I had friends that read things. I thought they were a bit odd. I read a lot of stuff now. I was like, listen, yes, I thought my best friend was odd for reading. because I was like, where are you finding these books? Because all the books I have are really boring. Like, where are you finding them? She's like, girl, you ain't got to be boring. She had vampire books. And I'm not into vampires. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it's not what we read, but okay. She had romance novels. She had all sorts of things.
Wait, was she reading that good?
She was reading that freaky dicky stuff, boy. She was reading it. But anyway, I was like, you have books by your bed? Like, you have a TV. What do you need books for?
Right.
But hey, to each his own. However, if that's how you was raised, whatever. So I got off track. Watership Down. We started talking about that, and I was fascinated by the fact that he was turned down several times for publication, and then he went on to be this amazing, like that was his very first book. So I'm sitting here going, what happens
Who's that guy?
to the 4 people who read that and said no? And then it becomes this, like, he lived to be 96.
Yeah.
So that thing was on the bestseller list like 75% of his life. Like, that thing is a absolute classic, forever making money. What does that do to you when you miss that opportunity?
If you're the guy that didn't invest in Google.
Right. If you're the guy who said, I'll pass. I mean, are they drinking right now?
They have to be. Look,
Are they currently, what do they call it, 3 sheets in?
3 sheets to the wind.
I feel like that person is now a full-on, like, miserable alcoholic. Like, I would be...
Well, whoever it is definitely don't have a job right now.
Yeah.
Because
like
you had one job.
And now you have no job. You had
one
to
less
do
job now.
Was catch, like, the people who turned down Harry Potter. What are they doing right now?
And there's a lot of them.
What are they doing? I feel like they're like, but in your imagination, where are they?
They're out there seeing muggles and thinking about butterbeer.
Like, I would never be able to go to Universal Studios.
Oh.
I wouldn't be able to, like, every time a new Harry Potter movie came out, I'd be in rehab. Like, I would just be disgusted.
They're probably seeing all the little imaginary creatures and all the magical, whimsical things that are in Harry Potter. They're just seeing them every time they close their eyes.
Now, mind you, I have never read a Harry Potter book. I'm sorry. And I have never seen a Harry Potter movie.
I at least seen part of the movie.
I ain't seen nothing.
I don't think I've finished any of them.
I've seen none, but I can relate to how pervasive it is. It's everywhere. And if I was the one who missed it, like the person who was on the review board for applications for colleges, and then you miss, like, I don't know, the next Bill Gates, and you're hearing them on a TED stage, basically recounting their college admissions essay, and you're like, God, I know this. Oh my God, that kid could have. I missed it.
Denied on that one.
I denied that one. Like, what is that person doing every time that person is on the news, or that person does some other major thing, or discovers this major thing? Ooh, and in relationships, that's got to be horrible. Seeing your ex on the cover of Forbes, like that.
You know that was my nightmare, right?
Man.
Every time I thought about something and was like, you know what, I don't know if we should keep dating. I always thought, you know what, she's going to end up on the cover of Forbes and I'm going to be mad because she's going to be on somebody else's arm. That's not going to work for me. I don't want that.
This is giving ego.
Wait.
I don't know about that.
What?
I mean, I'm not mad. I feel good about having the potential to be a trophy wife. I'll take it.
Wait, that's not a trophy though.
Because listen, you had good credit. We all do things for our own reasons.
My credit was all right.
It was better than mine.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. You put single mom credit up against single man credit.
How did Grand Poopa said I was athletic with good credit?
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
All right.
I ain't mad. It wasn't an arranged marriage, but there were arrangements.
Oh, there we go.
That's fair.
How did we get here?
I don't know. But anyway, let's say that I had ended up, because I've not been on anybody's cover of anything. So, like, are you just waiting on it? Like, is this an investment?
Of course.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I can't guarantee I'm gonna be on nobody's cover though.
Yeah, but it's a hedge against not.
So what you're saying is
I don't want to be that guy that missed Watership Down, that missed out on, man, you mean I didn't vote for Obama, and then like I'm watching this dude become everybody's hero, the Mount Rushmore of blackness?
But I think the voting is different because it's like,
no, it's not.
Because even if you make a mistake, it's not all on you. I mean, he wouldn't have lost by one vote. Now, if he lost by one vote, yes, you could be drinking right now. You could be very, very upset with yourself. That's a collective thing.
If you would have voted for Herschel Walker,
no, that doesn't even make sense. I think voting is absolutely different. But I think if it is your choice, like you are the last person to make this
or break
decision,
a deal, yeah.
Yes, then you can be upset. Like if you were the person, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. Like there are people that will pass on a kid that they didn't recruit them to play for.
Oh my gosh, that's got to be awful.
Yeah, and then you watch this kid come and beat you.
Yes. Oh, and you're like, that could have been. Oh,
like,
yes.
We passed on that dude.
You passed, and it was all, and you watched him in high school, like, like, oh, this was such a waste of time. And all you had to do was wait for him to be a senior and come back.
Yep.
Or check out his, Max Preps, whatever those pages are that the kids have.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that people always sort of look back and, hindsight is 20/20. Yet now we can laugh and think, man, who's that dude that missed that thing? And now, when their stock is $5 billion a share, it's a lot easier to say, oh, man, that was a no-brainer at that moment.
It's true. And when you're in it, it doesn't necessarily seem like a no-brainer, especially when you have other things on the table.
Right.
Because no publisher has just one, they don't just have one thing in front of them.
Right. But it can't feel good to be like, okay, I invested in CentOS instead of Amazon. Like what?
No, I put everything I had behind, what was that thing? Web crawler? Or what was it? What was that thing that was a spider?
Betamax.
The person who put all their money into Betamax and not VHS.
Or Laserdisc. Like how many people went all in and pushed all their chips into the table for Laserdisc?
No, the guy who sat at the table and fought for it. Where are you now?
Jim, you told me Laserdisc was over the next big thing.
Or the guy, oh my gosh.
Instead of Blu-ray.
I see why casting directors have to be certified and have to, like, you can't just be anybody and cast people in movies. You have to have some sort of training. Because imagine like the person who
said no to Viola Davis.
Oh, or said no to Will Smith, or said no to Martin Lawrence. But then you have these brilliant people who say yes to like the kid from E.T. You can't picture anybody else being that kid.
Right.
You can't picture anybody else, Firestarter, when Drew Barrymore, you can't picture any other kid being that kid. The one who cast Sissy Spacek in, what is that movie with the pig's blood? What is that movie?
I don't know.
Oh.
What movie are you talking about with pig's blood? You just creeped me out. I think I need to go to work now.
No, not yet.
No?
Not yet.
Oh.
Because I have to explain. It's Carrie. Carrie is a classic movie.
Oh.
It's not all about pig's blood. That's just one aspect of it. That's just one thing. Anywho, the people who make those decisions and make the right decisions, oh my goodness.
Yeah, like
that must feel amazing.
Like whoever put Denzel in Malcolm X, I forgot what Malcolm X looked like.
And I wouldn't have pictured that.
Right.
Or who picked Will Smith for
Muhammad Ali.
I wouldn't have pictured that because he's too tall. He was too skinny. Like I never would have thought about it.
They played those roles so well that you can't unsee it anymore.
Jamie Foxx is as Ray.
Wow.
I was like, do I remember what Ray Charles actually looks like?
I mean, he did that.
He did that. Like it was a clutch your pearls casting decision. Yeah. And I wonder how people feel when they're on that side of it, the winning side of it. The regret. We all have regret for all sorts of things that we have done. That's why we can really relate to that feeling. But the success of like, yes, I was right.
Right. Those are those in the pocket, like on top of the wave moments that it's just a fine line.
You did it. You know what? I feel that every day.
Oh,
Look at it.
you better go ahead.
Look at it. Look at it. See, I took that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I took that opportunity.
Right. You hit it.
I ain't even, I'm not even caffeinated.
Oh.
And I did that. Did you see how I did that?
I see.
Did you see how I saw that opportunity and I just jumped right in there?
Mm-hmm.
Now the rest of your day is going to be right.
You
see
know
how
what?
I did
You
that?
all right with me. I don't care what nobody say.
Who said it?
Don't worry about it. They was wrong.
They was, amen.
Amen.
You had a chance. You had an opportunity.
And you missed it.
So
So you know what we're going to do?
I guess we gotta go to work.
All right.
I guess. That means you gotta get out to bed.
Fine.
So y'all, if this episode does not sound as good as it usually does, and I don't have the mellifluous awake voice that I normally have, it is because I am semi-horizontal and the microphone is wherever. But I tried. I really tried.
Try something new. Maybe we won't have any regrets.
I guess. I don't have any regrets. I'll know when it's time to edit this. If I have any regrets, I don't know. All right, y'all. I gotta go to work.
And I got to go to work.
We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us for Chat and Bother. Go ahead and like our Facebook page and share this episode with people that you want to chat with or just feel like bothering, or both. Visit our website, chatandbother.com, for our episode guide and other ways to connect with us. Take care.